Through the leadership of Governor Larry Hogan, state, federal, and local government have teamed up for an initiative that will bring economic revitalization to Baltimore's North Avenue corridor and provide much-needed access to economic opportunity for city residents. The initiative is called North Avenue Rising. MDOT MTA Project Manager Patrick McMahon of the MDOT MTA Planning Department joins us with more on this initiative. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
So for viewers who may not know, what is North Avenue Rising?
Well, the North Avenue Rising is a joint project between MDOT MTA and Baltimore City Department of Transportation to make a variety of transportation investments along the North Avenue corridor to improve the economic revitalization along that corridor and the conditions for folks in the communities along that corridor.
So tell us about some of the improvements that people can expect to see through North Avenue Rising.
So there are a variety of different pieces involved in the project. Some of it includes dedicated bus lanes along the corridor, sidewalk improvements, roadway repaving, the addition of bike share facilities along the corridor, as well as parallel bicycle facilities, and improvements to the metro station, the Penn North Metro Station.
I guess it's one of the longest streets in the city, from West Baltimore to East Baltimore. Where along that stretch of roadway will North Avenue Rising actually occur?
So North Avenue Rising is going to have impacts along the full 5-mile length of North Avenue, from, we say, Hilton Avenue in the west side to Milton Avenue on the east side. And there's going to be sort of targeted investments at different points along that corridor, but there'll be pieces happening along almost the entire length of that corridor.
And when will the various projects that you mentioned begin?
So we're just starting out the process right now. We applied for a grant from the federal government back in April of 2016 and heard in August 2016 that we were receiving that grant. It's taken us a year to go through the federal grant authorization process. And now we're just starting out a public involvement process with a variety of kickoff meetings, and we're getting the ideas from those that will go into a series of concepts that we'll develop, and then have a set of meetings in February 2018 where we bring those pieces back out to the community. We'll spend the rest of 2018 sort of finalizing the design based on the comments that we get in that process, and then we'll be working on procurement in 2019, and then there'll be construction starting in 2019 and going through 2020 and finishing at the end of 2021.
So I know that this project involves federal, state, and local funding. How much money is actually geared for this project?
Okay. There's $27.3 million in total funding for the project. Of that, $14.7 million is State Department of Transportation funding, $10 million is federal funding from the Federal Transit Administration, $1.6 million is from the Federal Highway Administration, and $1 million is from Baltimore City Department of Transportation.
So it sounds like a really big initiative. What kind of economic development do you expect to see from this North Avenue Rising project?
There's a lot of economic development already happening along North Avenue, and this project is really designed to strengthen and to spread that economic development through more of the corridor. And it's going to happen through a variety of ways. There's the actual construction projects, the construction jobs that'll happen as a part of building the project. There are the improvements to the mobility for people by improving the transit and bicycling and walking conditions, as well as driving and truck driving conditions along the corridor. And then in addition to that, we're working to partner with other agencies from both the local jurisdiction at the city as well as at the state level to really build beyond the roadway. What are the things that can happen in terms of housing, in terms of other economic development that can happen in the corridor? And the Maryland Department of Planning is doing a study to evaluate the economic impacts of the project over the course of the corridor and the course of the project.
Now, with all the changes that would be coming to North Avenue, what do you see these improvements doing to impact the community?
So there are a wide variety of different impacts that projects that are going to be happening as a part of North Avenue Rising. One of the key pieces is dedicated bus lanes. Another is streetscape and pedestrian safety improvements. There are also transit signal priority and bus shelter improvements as a part of the project. And then there are parallel bike facilities, the bike lanes that I already mentioned, as well as bike share stations and some investments at the metro station, at the Penn North Metro Station.
Seems like a lot of really good benefits for the area.
Yeah, it's a lot of different work. We recognize that while $27.3 million is a lot of funding, it doesn't go that far once you start construction. And so we're really trying to target those efforts at the places where we think that we can make the biggest impact, and then also getting input from community members about how they would like to see that funding prioritized.
And it helps to have the community buy-in.
Yeah, no, the community input is a really key piece of this, and one of the things we did when we were developing the application was we really tried to build it upon previous planning efforts that had already been undertaken. And so this project builds on a lot of different input the community has provided over years to both the city, to the MTA, to various community organizations, and then we're going to be going out multiple times throughout this project to get additional input from the community.
So how does it tie in, North Avenue Rising, how does it tie in with Baltimorelink?
North Avenue Rising really takes a lot of the infrastructure investments that were part of Baltimorelink and really tries to focus and concentrate those along the North Avenue corridor. Also, in terms of the improvements that we're making at major transfer locations, should help improve with the conditions for folks that are transferring from one route to another.
And I know you talked a little bit about the public meetings, the open houses. Are there additional open houses that are coming in the near future?
Yes, there were a series of kickoff meetings in November of 2017 that were designed to get general input from the public about the project and about the conditions on the corridor. The consultants are going to be using that work in December and January to develop concepts that will be coming back out to the public in another set of workshops in February of 2018, and then there'll be meetings throughout the project at various different stages to let folks know as the project progresses and all the way through construction.
So it sounds good. So the public will be informed through every step of the project.
Yes, no, the public is going to be very involved with this process, but it's especially important to get input from the public early in the process so that we can get understanding of what kind of things they'd like to see as a part of this project and make sure that we're identifying all the key issues.
So with the meetings that you've had so far, what are you hearing from a number of the people? Are they excited about North Avenue Rising? Yeah,
folks are really excited about the project. They're really curious about how it's going to impact them, how it's going to connect with other things in their community, and how does this build upon ideas that they've already brought to the table. And so it's been very interesting, and we've got a website, northavenuerising.com, where folks can come and take a look at the presentations and the boards and all the materials that were at those meetings. There's also a survey on that website where folks can fill out information about what are the issues along the corridor, what would they like to see happen in the corridor.
So tell us again, what is the website for more information?
The website is northavenuerising.com, and people can also send comments or questions to info@northavenuerising.com.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, Sandy.